it is that time again. Now, Arcane-Gel, they just dropped a release, Bandcamp. I'm gonna put some links down there, and then you follow them back to them. And I've seen it happen. This track right here, Fishbowl Furnishings. You go down in the comments, and I would say at least one of those comments is someone who's a very supportive member of this channel. Probably other channels too. I'm not making claim, Mike. I'm not claiming you. I don't have no ownership. I'm just saying. There you were, and I'm like, this is a good choice. So before getting, and I think I got something off the new stuff, and if you're just here for music, go check the band out, support, listen. It gets a little more complicated because I'm highly impressed by their lyrical content, and when I was doing a sound check, I caught the first 30 seconds of this track. And I'm going to be ready to go right off Jump Street. We're going to probably go hard. So just fair warning, no quarter given. I'll stop the track a lot.
You are everything, and yet you are nothing.
That's all it took for me during the sound check. I'm like, oh, well, that's because you are unlimited potential, but that potential needs application. You need to apply, let's say, force and effort. I'm not talking about violence now. We're mechanical force and effort to unleash the potential into a creative process. But because you can think of all of those things before they ever come to be, then you are the creator of those ideas. You are the everything. But the nothing until you try. Oh, see, I don't know if that's what it's there for, but that's what it makes me think.
You are everything, and yet you are nothing.
Confined to a mind, defiant to its wiring. Inside a head, I quietly hide within. Bound to a skin I'm not comfortable in. Defined by the colors of our kin. Constrained by values, beliefs handmade. Some secondhand, some in our DNA. Enslaved to our expectations. Chained to what's left when we fail them. On a street where these neighbors are strangers. At a game show carousel of saviors. Tied to a job, a mutual indifference that will never reciprocate what we give to it. Lost in a broken dream.
All right, we're going to check out a bunch of the track. I've already wanted to stop a bunch of times. So, I'm sucking it up because I went hard on an Avenged Sevenfold today that was Tension. That's kind of the last one I came from almost. And a couple filler reactions. They're great reactions, but I just sit there and listen to the music. Do you understand that? It's not what it should be for. I'm not telling you what to do with your ears. Whatever you choose. But sometimes just the listen isn't enough for me, obviously. But I come from just a couple filler ones. But before that, the Tension from Avenged Sevenfold, and just the grind, the work grind, that will never reciprocate what you give it, life. And the unfortunate reminiscings of taking the high road when the appreciation isn't always. It looks good on paper. Let's put it this way. But old Rollen don't like a front. Just because you slap a coat of paint on the front of the flop house don't mean they're not, dealing heroin out the back door. I don't know what to say. They pretend. I don't like this world where they pretend. that you have value, but they don't really. They just take more than they give, ever.
Get to it, lost in a broken dream on an island, drifting out to open sea, further away from this continent, tethered to our history, measured by its opulence. A grain of sand, a speck of dust, a vacant plan, and less of us, inflated worth, chemical cocktail, an ancient curse, embers of lost grail, a grain of sand, a speck of dust, a vacant plan, and less of us, inflated worth, chemical cocktail, an ancient curse, embers of lost grail. It's someone said to me on this long.
Sorry, just so you know, in the background, because they're teaching me shit. Obelus, measured by its obelus, a symbol used as a reference mark in printed matter. So I got a bunch of stuff going on, so I can have the control of the video and the dagger, cross, mark. Used in ancient text to mark a word or passage as spurious, corrupt, or doubtful. Whoa, that seems like the right one. Oh, that makes it, oh, nice. And that's what I mean. Because I could just be, I watch too many other people let things that have value pass them by because they don't want to bother. I'd rather have very little to show for it, but always bother. So then tethered to our history, measured by its spurious, corrupt, or doubtful content. Ooh, that makes it. I'm just saying. I don't know, guys. I make no assumptions, but hey, that's cool. Thank you. I'm not sure I can get it into conversation yet, but by the end of the reaction, you never know. You might have just added to my lexicon, and I would appreciate that immeasurably.
Only spheres, the best I saw thing, the worst sphere, the bigger picture can be so unclear. But if your mark is missing, it will feel so insincere. In the arms of a mother, the nose will be the death of her. Close enough to smell our poison on the breath of her. Sinking in sand, trapped in an hourglass, wasting time, trying to make an hour last beyond our own mortality. Distracted by illusions of our own majesty. Atop a rock that spins just right, tipped towards a light that permits this life a finite fin swimming in a.
Sorry, guys. As I said in the down in the descriptions, a link to the original. Here, if you would like to, if you never know what to say, you could just tell them how some asshole stepped all over their kick-ass track, and if he would have shut up, you would have enjoyed it more. I'm just saying, if you need inspiration, I, being on this rock flying through space, entered some really interesting, where was it? Atop a rock that spins just right, tipped toward the light that permits this life. That whole, I'm not good at math, but I hear the scientists tell me that any difference in the balance of everything and nothing exists. I have no idea what happened before that singularity, that nothing. I don't know how everything came from nothing, but they agree from nothing it sprang in a perfectly balanced system to, at the very least, create this moment in time and place, tangible substance and matter, so we could meet. Now, I gotta say, every now and then, you should probably give it up to the math. Because, holy shit, it turns out, I'm grateful to breathe air, and others should too.
towards a light that permits this life, a finite fin, swimming in eternity, unable to see beyond our fishbowl furnishings. Beneath sparks of bright scatterings and expanding masterpiece scribes in the galaxy, cloaked in the vastness of universe that's blind to our rule of this wool and dirt, behind a limelight of cosmic magnificence, intricate, solemnly insignificant. A grain of sand, a speck of dust, a vacant plan, and less of us, inflated worth, chemical cocktail, an ancient curse, embers of lost grail, a grain of sand, a speck of dust, a vacant plan, and less of us, inflated worth, chemical cocktail, an ancient curse, embers of lost grail. Your soul once said to me, on this lonely sphere, the best I saw thing, the worst sphere. The bigger picture can be so unclear, but if your mark is missing, it will feel so insincere.
Look so different from afar. I can barely recognize you.
Sorry, I did it again. I leaned in with the headphones like I could turn it up that way. I don't know about the chemical cocktail mix they're talking about in this song, but I know the one that I got in my bloodstream right now is working fine. And an inflated worth. I'm guilty, but not as much as identifying it in others who claim it not to be true. It's funny about entitlement. You get lumped in with a group of, hey, you got it going on, until closer examination. And no, two of them have it going on, but deny it's true. And then everyone else who is said to have it going on, they ain't got shit. But they're not good at lying, which is one of those interesting aspects of existence, isn't it? The desire to win by all means, and who cares of the cost? Not one of the most redeeming qualities we have as a creature, that's for sure.
So different from afar. I can barely recognize you from such distance.
But if your mark is missing, it will feel so
I like that.
You look so different from afar. I can barely recognize you from such distance.
Now, does that imply if I get closer, I can know you better?
Friends from afar.
But if your mark is missing, it will feel so insincere.
You look so different from afar. I can barely recognize you from such distance.
I gotta go with that because of the way this, but if your mark is missing, it would feel so insincere that I don't want to celebrate psychopathy or just honor regular normal. I would think that it all makes up the tapestry of life. And if you could start seeing beyond the trappings of the here and now, it is a finite fin swimming in eternity, unable to see beyond our fishbowl furnishings. Now, I referenced this the other day. I don't know if this is true, but I'll slap on the tinfoil hat for 1 second. I heard someone smoke some DMT, look through like a laser. I don't know what that means. Because part of me sees a meme with a dude drooling and shooting a laser in his eye and telling you what he sees. I'm not sure that's the eyewitness report we should be buying. But I tighten up the hat and I go, man, gosh, golly, gee whiz, they're talking about seeing code. And I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I buy any of that. But I definitely like to entertain the what if side of our storyline. They were already always great comic books, you know. I mean, it's like, what if, Superman and the Hulk? Well, they're two separate IPs, so they can't. But what if? Now, I think, guys, I think this is the best one I've heard so far. I think I actually like this. I think this is number one for me so far. And a lot more of your material to go. Now, X, how you doing? All you, I want to call it X. I don't care. I'm going to express myself over here, and X marks the spot for finding the best reactions I do for Arcane-Gel. So, I don't have another X joke, but I expect one to come up later.
You are everything, and yet you are nothing.
Big. Oh, bad. Look. And okay. And it must be messagings from the other side. No, I'm just fucking playing.
Confined to a mind, defiant to his.
So the problem is confined to a mind, defiant to its wiring, made me think of, our programming. Obviously, not obviously to me. All my opinions are for entertainment purposes only. But this lost in your own, this shouldn't be a prison. We shouldn't be trapped in our own skin, imprisoned in our own shell. That's not. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Of course it does. That's going back to it takes all kinds. But then maybe through writing songs and addressing issues, maybe doubling down and going, well, wait, that's maybe a little more important than the listening audience is reflecting on. Maybe some of that makes us more comfortable to skin you're bound to. And then bound to a skin I'm not comfortable in, defined by the colors of our kin, constrained by values, beliefs, handmade from, or some secondhand, some in our DNA, nature versus nurture there. Enslaved to our expectations, chained to what's left when we fail them. But then, one of the truest memeable, and I think the tip top of the pinnacle will agree, if you could start measuring those failures as attempts in a creation project, then not give up, you might not be enslaved to your expectations, but driven by them. I'm not saying I'm right. And I'm not saying the lyrical content is inappropriate or this or that, or I disagree. I'm saying if you're trapped, then if you have enough realization that you might not be driving the flesh suit, find out what forces are pulling the strings. Because you might be hurtling through the universe in an unexplainable cosmic ballet. But you do have enough free will to control the here and now and moment to some ends. You can create, you can choose. This channel is a strong supporter of the no. Easiest to explain that by starting with immoral orders. No, can't do that. To the simplest, no, I don't want relish on my hot dog. Is it a spicy hot dog? Is that like a banger over there? Is it bangers and mash? Is that like mashed potatoes and hot dog or sausages? Okay, that's a wholly off course, but at 1953, we're going to wrap it up with that. We could go hard for longer and longer and longer. I think there's a shit ton of substance here and value. And I will. This one might make the short list. I liked it a lot. I really like the lyrical content here. Arcane-Gel with Fish Bowl Furnishings. Sometimes it's nice to decorate your cell.